Hello and welcome to our semi-annual Last Call episode, Summer 2024 edition, which marks the end of Season 11 of the Whiskey Tangent Podcast. I'm Scott.
I'm Ed.
So every 6 months, we like to give ourselves a break from our typical weekly ridiculousness, humble brag about who's listening to us all over the world, do a quick taste of two spirits we're sipping on tonight, recap all the episode shorts and other things that we've created in the past 6 months, and then provide you with a preview of what's coming up in the next 6 months in Season 12. And of course, there will be tangents.
That's right.
But before we get to all that, Ed's going to get our motors running with a list of special shout-outs.
Right. Thanks, Scott. We always like to celebrate and send appreciation to those who have come on the podcast during the season and helped spread the knowledge and the hilarity. And so I'm going to read who has appeared the most in order. An interesting person leads the way.
Yeah.
Our good friend Marty, half of the Whiskey Power Couple, was on 4 podcasts. 2 episodes and 2 shorts. His faithful partner, Rachel, was next. She was on 2 podcasts, 1 episode and 1 short. And that brought up Paula, who was uniquely paired with Marty for an episode and a short. So she came on 2 appearances. Our good friend, the Scotchologist, Joe,
Scotchologist,
came on for 2 podcasts, our Johnny Walker episode, and then a quick taste of the quintessential.
Yeah.
Siobhan and Sue were on for 2 podcasts together, an episode and a Whiskey Wormhole episode. Gabe and Jeff appeared together on 2 podcasts, both shorts. And then Anders made a long-needed appearance.
Long overdue.
For 1 episode, which was the Garrison Brothers.
Yeah.
We also interviewed some people, our good friends at the Star Trek Spirits, who sent us the Captain's Table, which was a delicious whiskey made by Crispin Kane, who was the master distiller for them that created. He was on the interview along with Craig Spurrier and Howard Jakowitz. We talked to our old friends from Lost Lantern. Yeah. They've been growing and getting better. They had I think it was a 7 whiskey lineup of single barrel selection from around the Midwest that was just delicious. That was Nora Ganley Roper and Adam Polanski. So I want to thank all of those people for being a part of the podcast and bringing their knowledge and energy to it. And it just really made the season special and fun.
Yeah, it was a great season. Great guest and interview, as Ed said. Also, I have a listener shout out. So last time we talked about a listener, Jason from Maryland, who we got to meet at the lounge, actually, who listened to all of our episodes from the beginning. Well, back in May, another listener also reached out to us on Instagram to say basically the same thing. So his name is Justin, and he's from Nashville. And he wrote this: I love the format and the variety and episode types that you guys put together. You can tell tons of effort goes into all of it, from the planning and organizing the episodes to sequencing topics and styles that coordinate. I actually found your podcast when I searched for a review of the Basil Hayden toast. After that episode, I knew I needed to hear the rest. So I've been listening daily to catch up from episode 1, and I'm definitely in for the long haul. I know the Isaac Bowman port finish was trash, but if you can get the John J. Bowman single barrel select, it's like dessert in a glass. Also, you're right about the Corsair Dark Rye. Magnificent. I'm just outside of Nashville, so I'll make sure I keep that one in stock. Tell Gabe good luck with the Pineys, and I'm still searching for the Portly Bat action figure. Love your work. Chef's kiss.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, isn't that great?
It's great to know that we're not just screaming into the void.
It really is.
That there's people out there that are appreciating the work we do and all the effort Scott puts into structure and plan and execute these episodes, which is a real labor of love for him.
It is. So that was in May. And then in July, he reported that he was all caught up. He said he started on February 14th and he finished on July 11th. So to put that into perspective, he listened to 240 podcasts, which we had put out by that time, in 117 days, which is basically 2 a day, every day for 5 months.
Well, it's a labor of love for him, too.
Yeah, it's dedication.
I mean, some of them are short, he'll tell you that.
Yeah, they are.
Some are 15, 18 minutes.
Yep.
And some are an hour, you know. I mean, not many of ours are over an hour, though.
Not many.
So, you know, I don't know what type of drive he has to work. If he has an hour to work each way, it's easy to knock out 2 podcasts for us.
He mentioned he was going to listen to it when he was mowing on his lawn.
We don't know how many acres he has down there.
Maybe he's got an acreage in Nashville.
So thanks so much for Justin and Jason.
Yeah.
And, you know, if fans want to hit us up who don't start with Jay, we'll take you as well, like a Dave or a Sam or a Mike.
Yeah, you don't have to always start with Jay.
Right, it's no requirement.
No.
But we thank those guys for being supportive.
Yeah, thanks so much.
And wait, where's our friend in Afghanistan?
Oh, that's Brian.
Right. So
starts with B.
So sometimes dedicated listeners graduate to time on the podcast.
That's right.
You know, I mean, he's become our whiskey explorer. He's a major contributor to the podcast now. And I'm sure when he was in Afghanistan, you know, in a tent or whatever, I like to envision him in a tent.
Could have been a tent. We don't know.
No, listening.
He knows.
You know, and I'm sure he was thinking, well, this is kind of a fun thing to listen to, and never envisioning that he would be on the podcast podcast several times.
Right,
So.
I know.
So, hey, guys, keep dreaming big.
Your dreams could come true.
Wait, do we know where Justin lives? You said he's outside
Nashville.
Tennessee, right? Yeah.
Nashville, yeah.
We can make Nashville. Or, we're going to be in Kentucky. Come
We
find us.
are. Yeah, come find us. Come on down.
Yeah, come on. We'll be there in November.
Yeah, we'll tell you exactly when. So the next thing we do are listener stats.
Yeah.
First, we do the United States, all the states, and then we do the countries. So by the time this comes out, the first week of October, we should surpass 45,000 downloads.
Okay.
So we're still averaging about 5,000 per season. So it hasn't gone down, which is good.
Right.
So the top 10 all time, not much has moved.
Yeah, we've been pretty steady.
So the top 8 remain New Jersey, Pennsylvania, California, Illinois, Florida, Maryland, Texas, and New York. But Georgia and Virginia moved down one. So Georgia is still in the top 10, but Virginia is out of the top 10 to be replaced at number 9, thanks in part to Justin by Tennessee.
That's right, because we've had a fanatical surge.
We've had a super fan come in and listen to all our podcasts.
Right. It just shows you, if you all contribute, how quickly you can help us out if you just download everything.
But not just him. So we have 240-something episodes now, and in Tennessee, in season 11, 510 downloads. Right. So Justin led the way, for sure.
Or he just loved them and listened to them all twice.
Oh, maybe. Thanks for doing that. Download all of our podcasts on all podcast providers. Please, everyone do that. Is that cheating? That's cheating.
Probably. I don't know. Cheating. I think they still just count as one. But
yeah. And really, there are no movers and shakers down the list. It's all, except for Tennessee moving up, it's all pretty much the same.
Yeah, we've been doing this 5 years, so they're locked in now.
But, so what's interesting is I looked at the top 5 just in season 11. California, Tennessee, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Florida. So, honestly, Jersey, Pennsylvania, you're slacking. You're a bread and butter. You need to be more than this.
Right.
Be more.
Well, California.
Listen more.
California's a...
God damn it, listen to our podcast. Random Belligerents. Classic Edition.
California's a big state. I had to tell you, I think that Star Trek episode with Crispin's interview, I'm going to give it some credit.
Could be.
He's based in California, so, it's possible.
And there are a lot of people there.
There are a lot of people there.
Yeah. All right, so fun news of the world stats.
All right.
So in season 11...
Come on, Bangladesh.
We were downloaded in 26 different countries in season 11.
Okay.
All by itself. 3 of them were new.
Oh, we haven't had new ones in a while.
Yeah, no, we haven't.
So last I knew, we were at 92 countries.
We were at 93.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And now we have 96.
All right.
We had Lithuania and Latvia, so that we needed the other Baltic state, and now we got Estonia.
Right, and I have, of course, been to Estonia.
Right.
And so you figure I could have done a better job. The problem was when I was in Estonia back in 2018.
You drank vodka.
I drank a lot of vodka.
We didn't have the podcast.
We didn't have a podcast yet.
That's right. We didn't have a podcast.
Right.
So we can't blame it on
I'd like to beat myself up, but I have been in Estonia,
right,
and it's a fun country.
You had a fun time there.
I did.
The second country is Libya.
That's stunning.
I know, right?
We're not usually this big in North Africa, but okay.
And the third country, a surprise.
Bigger surprise than Libya?
Yeah. China.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We have never been in China.
So apparently, very, very recently, we've been listened to in China. Now, whether that's because somebody just picked up our podcast in China or that we were able to be listened to in China.
It's possible that one of our platforms might have been allowed because they do have a state-run internet. So they can't jump on and just go to Facebook or whatever they want in China. That I know.
So the top 10 countries of all time, United States, Canada, Germany, United Kingdom, and Mexico did not change.
Okay.
Top 5 from last time. China jumped into number 6 on the list, pushing down India, Israel, Spain, and France, and moving South Africa out of the top 10.
What are you talking about? I mean, I know they have a 1.4 billion people.
Yeah.
I mean, our podcast could be epic if we just caught fire in China.
I know.
Well, I mean, it just shows you that, with that many people in China, once you catch a little bit of a wave, that's all it takes to jump into the top 10.
That's right. Farther down the list, we had 2 big movers upwards. So Japan moved up 6 spots.
Okay, good.
From 28 to 22.
They're always jealous of what China does. I'm not surprised.
Oh, yeah, you're right. And Poland moved up 23 spots from 58 to 35.
Yeah, well, that's because probably 10 people listen to it now. Now there's 12.
What are you, me? Denigrating our podcast?
Right. So, no, I mean, that's great. China's a big surprise.
Yeah.
And I will say that if we're speaking honestly, we certainly have untapped markets in Asia that we have not explored.
Yeah.
Except for India, we haven't really made a splash in that part of the world.
Yeah, for sure. So next thing, we're going to do a couple quick tastes. So these are birthday bourbons that first I bought Ed, the first bourbon that we're going to do. Right. His birthday's in early January. Yep. So I bought it back then intending to do either a quick taste or have it on some other episode. And we just never got to it. Yeah. We got like the Star Trek Spirits thing and the Lost Lantern. And then we went to New York.
He gave it to me and he goes, on my birthday, you can't have it tonight. I'm going to put it in the vault. We'll do it in a couple of weeks and you can taste it then.
9 months later.
9 months later, I'm going to finally get to taste my birthday whiskey.
That's right. So this is the Blackened times Wes Henderson Bourbon Quick Taste. Let's call Quick Taste. So I have a description from their website and the stats and everything, and then we'll taste it. So the Blackened times Wes Henderson is the second release in Blackened Whiskey's Master of Whiskey series, which was created in partnership with master distiller and blender Rob Dietrich and recently retired Angel's Envy co-founder Wes Henderson. This limited edition expression is crafted from 6-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon and finished in white port wine casks, bottled at cask strength, non-chill filtered, and sonically blasted with these Metallica songs: For Whom the Bell Tolls, No Remorse, King Nothing, The Unforgiven, Hit the Lights, Orion, The Day That Never Comes, and appropriately, Blackened. And amazingly, this is actually the 5th Blackened expression we've tasted on air.
Crazy.
In season 6, December of 2021, we featured the original Blackened American whiskey as well as its cask strength version in episode 48. And then we had 2 more on a short in season 9, July of 2023, Blackened Rye, and their first in the Masters of Whiskey series, the Blackened times Willet, which was a Madeira finished rye. Mm-hmm. The proof is 116.2. The mash bill is not disclosed. It's 6 years aged and not disclosed how long they finished it in the port. The price was about $120.
All right. There's sweet cherries on it.
Oh, it is so sweet.
It is alcohol forward on the nose, so you have to be careful about.
Oh, so I'm getting like that little Swedish Fish thing that I sometimes get.
Well, I said cherry, so it's very close.
It's like that light, not cherry, but also cherry.
Yeah, a cousin of cherry.
It's a cherry's cousin. I like it. I even get a little bit of apricot or peach or something.
Yes.
Oh, there's baking spices there too.
I get clove.
Yeah.
I get a little cinnamon.
Very sweet nose, though. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I didn't expect it to be sweet, because it's bourbon finished in white port wine. Of course it's going to be sweet. I love the nose of this. This is spectacular nose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, it's not as good as the Sir Davis Beyonce whiskey nose, but it's damn close.
Oh my gosh, it's hot. I swallowed it too much. 116.2, once again. Oh, I mean, it's really flavorful.
Oh, yeah. I tell you right now, I tasted it without water.
Yeah.
And it was really hot, so I put 5 drops of water in and it really opened up a lot of sweetness.
Yeah, it tastes really hot. Put the water in. Try that.
It's very alcohol forward without the water. I'm going to say that. And I think it's very hard to pull flavors out.
It's so good with water on it. Mm-hmm. I think I'm getting like a cola. After it's gone, I feel like I drank a Coke.
Interesting.
I'll have like a full sugared Coca-Cola, which itself has a panoply of tasting notes, including citrus.
You can really taste the music. Man, it's really warming up my chest.
Can you taste the Blackened? Get the Mother Earth! I'm Blackened!
God. Oh. So I'm getting some traditional notes of vanilla. I'm getting some sugared cherry, Swedish Fish flavor has carried through the taste.
It really has.
And then the baking spices are on the finish.
It's sweet. It's desserty. Like that sweetness, like you said, it just carries straight through.
Mm-hmm. And the finish is sweet too.
Yeah.
It's sweet all the way. I mean, this is something that I could definitely enjoy in a globe and let it chill a bit.
Yes.
When this gets down to 90, 92, it's still going to have fire in it. It's a really strong whiskey. And so,
we'll pour.
What was the proof again?
It was 116.2.
Man, all right.
It does drink hotter than that.
Yeah, I've had 125s, 130s that haven't hit me as hot as this one. This is a hot whiskey.
You know, what's cool about the Blackened series, we talked about this when we did the Beyonce one, and we've done other celebrity whiskeys before too. But the Blackened, I mean, it's legit. Every single one that we tried has been amazing. We have not had a failure from the Blackened series.
Oh, no. The Blackens are good whiskeys. Even their regular old Blackened, if you want. You don't have to spend 120 to get a good bottle. But is it pricey when I'm telling you now, I can't drink this fast.
No.
In fact, I'm not even finishing this one before we go on to the next one.
Right, because we have a next one, which is it even higher proof?
No, it's right in the same wheelhouse.
All right, so now we're going to taste the one that Ed got me for my birthday.
Right. So we did an episode from Garrison Brothers, and one of the ones we didn't get a chance to taste was their Lady Bird Bourbon. So So like all their bourbons, the Lady Bird begins its life as a Garrison Brothers small batch whiskey. Then the master distiller, Donis Todd, selects barrels of this nectar that already display notes of honey and delicately infuses them with Burleson's Texas Wildflower honey. After that, the liquid ages in a exquisite French XO cognac cask, resulting in a harmonious blend of unparalleled flavor and elegance. The bottle comes with a packet of wildflower seeds, and for every Lady Bird sold, $5 will be donated to the Lady Bird Johnson Wildflower Center. As I said, we tasted 5 other expressions just a few weeks ago on episode number 77. On the Garrison Brothers episode, we tasted their small batch, their honeydew, their Guadalupe, which was amazing, the Balmorhea, and their cowboy bourbon.
Right.
The Lady Bird bourbon has a proof of 114. The mash is 74% corn, 15 red winter wheat, and 11% malted barley. It's aged 4 years and then another 9 months in a honey cask, and then 3 more years in a cognac cask. The price, the MSRP for this is $180. I got it for $174.
Cheap bastard.
I like Scott. I like Scott $54 more than he likes me.
I know. Thank you for pulling the trigger on this for me.
Yeah. I mean, it was so timely that we tried the other 5 expressions, and this is one that we talked about. We were all like, whoa, wish this one was here.
Yeah, one of those other whiskeys. So this is basically, as I said on the episode, their honeydew, which we tasted, proofed higher and then finished in cognac cask.
I mean,
how could it not be good?
And we actually have the honeydew behind us.
We do.
We could actually
we could sit side by side.
Which I think this would blow it.
Oh, this will blow it away, probably. I mean, that's good, but it's only 80 proof.
Well, on the nose, there's honey, but surprisingly less honey than you would think. I get more cognac notes.
Oh.
Some grape, and I get some, like a wininess to it.
Yeah, it's much deeper.
Yeah.
But it's still got that Garrison Brothers nose on it.
Yes.
That papery raw wood quality.
Yeah, very oaky. You know, even though it's only 4 years age, remember, it's in Texas.
Oh, I'm getting more of the cinnamon and, I mean, it smells really good. I'm really enjoying this. It doesn't smell too hot. Whereas the blackened at only 2 proof points higher smelled really hot. But
Absolutely.
This doesn't.
It does not. It does
not.
Oh,
God. A complete whiff of honey.
Oh, yeah, the honey's there. But I'm trying to get past the honey to get to, you know.
But I didn't smell that initially. I smelled more of the winey ones that you were talking about earlier.
I'm getting a lot of vanilla, like a vanilla cake or a shortbread.
Yeah, it is cakey.
Oh,
you got something.
I just tasted it.
Oh, you just tasted it?
Well, it's a lot there. I'm not ready to talk yet. Throwing a little bit of water on this as well because it's very complex and it's very dense. It's hard to get through the flavor profile.
Oh, you know what? It smells like raisins.
Mm-hmm. The raisin sauce that you have on pork.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Like
I do.
They actually sell it. I've had it. It comes in a jar.
Ooh. Okay, so I can actually remember the similarities between the honeydew, but this has so much more deeper. It's like you took the honeydew and you reduced it in a pot, and you reduced all those flavors down, and you caramelized some of the sugars, and you made it darker and deeper.
Yeah, you know, that's a great point.
You okay?
Yeah, it's strong.
Yeah, it is strong.
It has some of the notes at the top of a creme brulee. Like burnt sugar. There's definitely burnt sugar on this and burnt brown sugar and burnt regular sugar. It's all combined in that. That makes a solid tasting note on this from what I'm getting. And I still get some of the notes of the cognac and the honey are all there on the palate.
I love it. So I get a little bit of that papery quality, but it's actually a little welcome because, as we said on the episode with this, exactly, because otherwise I think it would be too sweet if it didn't have that woody quality to it.
It's a great whiskey. These 2 whiskeys, they're just so hard to drink back to back like we just did. They are so dense and so hot. My chest is on fire. My taste buds are overwhelmed right now. Like, who does that? Like, who would you go to the bar? Like, yeah, I want a 116 proof whiskey, but wait, no, don't walk away. I want a 114 proof whiskey right behind it, and I'm gonna just drink them back to back really fast.
That's my chaser.
That's what Jeff does.
No, Jeff's a beast.
When it comes to proof, yeah.
Well, he is the knight who says neat.
So some of the tasty notes that you should get on this,
the taste notes
is brown sugar, raisin, wildflower honey, molasses, charred oak. There is some oak flavor.
Yeah, the wood.
Stone fruits, vanilla, thin layer of ethanol. Very thin. I didn't find this
I didn't either.
As alcohol forward as the blackened.
Yeah.
The palate is a silky mouthfeel that doubles down on honey with charred oak, vanilla, fresh baked bread, brown sugar, baking spices, raisins, and I don't know what pink peppercorn spices, but there's
I don't know what that is.
So to finish, this is from Breaking Bourbon, by the way. A delicate balance between dry and sweet flavors with baking spices, peppercorns, charred oak, leather, spiced honey, raisins all through it, I agree, powdered vanilla, and a lingering heat that hangs on for an incredibly long time.
It does.
Wait, I agree.
We're still feeling it.
Yeah.
So did you enjoy your present?
I did.
Yeah.
I think that's the next question. Which of these is the better whiskey? Let's go side by side. You got
that's
some
interesting.
They're very different.
They are different. So the Blackened, just off the top of my head, the Blackened is sweeter. The Garrison Brothers is savorier.
We get a little splash
of
mine.
But the Garrison Brothers does have that sweetness in it, so they are kind of similar. They're similar proof, although the Blackened does drink a little hotter.
Right, so we have to pretend this is like the Whiskey Madness, right?
Yeah.
I need a splash.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do the Whiskey Madness.
Because
we
would have these proofed in the same bracket. Hey, maybe we will.
We might.
Maybe we will. Yeah. We could save enough for that.
We could. I mean, these aren't blind. We know which ones they are.
Yeah, right. Well, we could do that. We could switch for each other and not know.
Oh. Oh, no. Here we go. Are we doing it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right.
None of this radio pop shit. I drop this, turning back the clock to rock shit. I cop it, said knock knock, I'm on this. I'm hot bitch, like a hot bitch, the top list. I'm locked in, I got this, radio drop this. Hot shit, just watch this, I fucking promise. So lit, do not miss your chance to cop this. Will you capture it, or just let it slip?
So I have Scott's two things. I have the Blackened and I have the Garrison Brothers.
I'm turned away. I'm facing the wall.
He won't know if I switch to one of the two.
Right.
Or if I do switch to one of the two, or I don't switch to one of the two.
It's like Schrödinger's whiskey. We don't know if he switched it or not.
All right, and then Scott's going to tell which one he likes better, one or two.
Okay.
Here we go.
And then I will take yours and switch them or not.
Right. And then we'll decide, like the Whiskey Madness, which of these we like best in our mouth at the moment. And if it was Whiskey Madness, they would both be in the same bracket because they're the same proof strength.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So I have one marked 2 and one marked 1.
Right. So the difference here is that we may not have the same 1 and 2.
Right. Either they're exactly the same as they were or they're exactly different.
Right.
Okay.
Oh my God. It gives me heartburn. But it's so delicious and sweet. Okay. I think I can tell them apart.
I can too.
Because of that oakiness in the Garrison
Brothers. So if this was a Whiskey Madness, I would choose 1 over 2 because it's sweet and delicious and it doesn't have that slightly off-putting oaky note on the finish. So I'm going to say that Scott did not change my lids.
Right.
And that I would have chosen the Blackened.
And you are correct. I did not switch the glasses. So I'm going to, of course, be the opposite. Right. And I'm going to say that I liked the one that had that oakiness because it has the oakiness. Right. A little less sweet. And that was number 2. So I believe that you did not also.
I did not change also. Because Scott and I believe that we watched Princess Bride too much. So if it's Princess Bride, I just would have put Garrison Brothers in both of them and build up a tolerance to Garrison Brothers.
Build up a tolerance to iocane Garrisons. I clearly can't take the file in front of you.
So interesting, we would have had a split and then Gabe or Anders would have had to break it.
That's right. They would have had to break it. Gabe would have sided with you, but Anders would have sided with me, I think.
Possibly.
Yeah.
All right. So really close whiskeys, though.
That's great. I really like doing that.
But when you tasted side by side.
That was fun.
I think we got each other the right present because Scott likes his present better than me and I like my present better than him.
Absolutely.
And that's all we're talking about. So
perfect.
That was fun. And we'll continue to drink these while we get on and review what we did on the season.
That's right. So the next thing we do are the overview of season 11. So we did 21 podcasts.
Yeah, we were working.
Yeah, season 11. We did 6 full episodes, 72 through 77, 5 whiskey news episodes, 4 whiskey shorts, 4 bonus shorts, 1 whiskey wormhole, and 1 last call, which you were listening to right now.
Yes.
The number of whiskeys, we had 35 whiskeys that we tasted.
That's a lot for a season.
Yeah, including the 2 that we just tasted.
Yeah.
We did 19 bourbons, 7 scotches, 6 ryes, 2 American single malts, 1 wheat whiskey, and 1 American whiskey.
That has to be one of the biggest disparities between bourbon and rye that we've ever had in a season.
Yeah. We drank a lot of bourbon this season.
We did. That's why I had such a good time. This is great. This is great.
Almost half of which, 16, we didn't buy.
Oh, that's right.
Because we either got them sent to us or people brought them or we were gifted to us from the Global Whiskey Challenge.
That's right. That's right.
So the grand total, last time I said we had 320. But going through the list this past week, I discovered that I had double counted some whiskeys. So we actually only had 318. But adding the 35, our all-time on-air total is now 353.
Right. So we have 353 whiskeys on the podcast. In our personal lives, Scott and I are probably
another 100.
At least another 100.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I thought was cool until we met that one judge that had, 2,600?
Oh, my God. He had a whole spreadsheet and
Yeah, he had 2,600 spirits. It was Larry.
Larry,
yeah. Not to mention wine, but 2,600 spirits. That include tequilas, rums, gin, and, of course, a hell of a lot of whiskey. So that's when my little 400 or 500 kind of shrank up like...
it shriveled in front of him.
Like a penis in a cold shower.
Oh, my God. Okay, so on that note, we'll get to the podcast recaps.
There we go.
Okay. Of course, excluding the news, we don't need to go through all those. Although, again, there are funny moments on those as well.
And they're not that long normally, so it doesn't kill you to go hit the old news episode.
I mean, honestly, they're our most popular thing that we do.
And they should be.
Yeah. All right, so the first thing we did in season 11 was episode 72, Lost Lantern Times 7, Midwest Whiskey Showdown. Our guests were Adam and Nora from Lost Lantern. The second time we interviewed them, the first time being on our Whiskeymentary about sourcing in season 4, January of 2021. So they sent us 7 expressions in their spring collection from craft distilleries located in 6 Midwestern states. They sent
so good.
3 bourbons, 3 ryes, and 1 wheat whiskey that 3 of us, me, Ed, and Marty, all bought.
Yes.
And we loved it. The whiskeys were Far Flung Rye, Tom Foolery's Ohio Straight Rye, Middle West Ohio Straight Rye, Few Spirits Straight Bourbon, Starlight Indiana Straight Bourbon, Wollersheim Wisconsin Straight Bourbon, and Cedar Ridge Iowa Straight Wheat Whiskey, all cask strength.
It was an onslaught of whiskey. It was a chore.
It
was a labor of love, but it was a lot of work, a lot of drinking. We drank 7 goddamn whiskeys. All strong proof.
Yeah. The funny moments that I picked out of this one, we love the first whiskey so much, the Far Flung Rye, that it was almost the shortest podcast ever.
I have to say, I don't think I've ever said this on the podcast. For $100, this was a bargain. Like, this could easily be a $150 bottle. Because of its rarity and because of the complex flavors and how much work went into it, this might be the bargain of 2024. Those who like to go out and get something special.
Yeah, and there's more than this than anything else.
I don't think we should taste anything else. We should just go home at this point because, I mean, I'm so in love with this Far Flung Rye.
The shortest podcast episode ever. Good night, everyone.
I guess we owe it to them to try all their whiskeys.
Oh, all right. We have 6 more, about as well.
And then we're going to taste this again, which is the best idea we ever had. I remember that.
Then there was General Sweetness. Did you put water in?
I did.
Okay, so I just put it in there.
Well, that's when I got it, when I put the water in.
Okay. Ooh, that makes it nice. It takes away whatever that paperiness that I was getting.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is sweet on the fish, but I'm finishing with dill.
I'm getting more leather now. The sweetness just tastes like, I don't know, just general sweetness, not anything in particular. It's sugary.
Yeah. General sweetness. His troops would never follow in battle. Guys, don't you feel like fighting today? Come on. No, General Sweetness. Shut up.
We like General Mirth. He's funnier.
I forgot all about that.
And then you disbelieved my tasting note where I read Dune in my parents' attic or whatever when I was 15 because it was justified in the tasting notes. Tasting notes. Notes of rich chocolate mousse and warm rye spice on the nose. Oh, with cocoa nibs, nutmeg, cinnamon, and leather-bound books on the palate.
You read that ahead of time.
I'm
not buying it.
I did not.
I'm throwing a protest flag that you picked out books.
No, it's the smell. It took me. I told you the whole Dune story. How could I just make that up?
Because you were up last night writing it because you read ahead.
Hey, you got lemon on the last one.
I did. All right, we're writing it down in the ledger.
The ledger of grievance.
the unledger.
We are so dumb. Also, one of the whiskeys was so high proof that it created a second throat in you.
I'm definitely getting the cinnamon now. I didn't get it until I put water in.
Oh, yeah. Cinnamon's there for sure. I don't know if I put water on it or not. Did I?
I do. I put it after the second sip. It's
I don't know. I don't.
131.
I didn't.
It's creating a second throat in me. It's trying to find its way out.
It's creating a second throat on you. It's making a fistula out of your neck.
Hello. Which isn't surprising with the way I've been.
Yeah, almost like tonight with the blackened.
Yeah, so I was choking on it.
All right, so the next one that we actually did 2 episodes back to back because we got compressed by the Whiskey Madness tournament that was in the previous season. Yeah. We had news in between. But this was episode 73, A Few Spirits You Sip from a Glass of Lies. So the guests were Sue and Siobhan with Gabe in the background. Finally, we did our few episode that we've been promising for about 3 years, ever since we met founder Paul Hletko at the Lounge.
Yes.
The 4 whiskeys we tasted were their straight rye, their immortal rye, their single barrel bourbon, and their cold cut bourbon.
I think the Immortal Rye is one of my favorite whiskeys in the world. It's just so unique and delicious.
It's really cool.
They cut it with oolong tea instead of spring water.
Yeah.
And you think that the tea would be so strong, but no, you'd be wrong.
Yeah.
The tea is very subtle. It does not come across as strong as you would think.
Yeah, I like the cold cut, which is the same concept, except they used cold brew coffee.
Yeah, it's very good also. And once again, wait for it, not as strong coffee flavor as you would expect.
Right. So the funny moments I pulled out of this one, there's a sequence where a tasting note of tobacco leads into me asking if Sue could smell Gabe's cigar. Then mimes and crickets happened.
The finish is medium length with accents of toasted hazelnuts, mocha, cinnamon sugar, and barrel-aged tobacco.
Now with the tobacco, are they saying smoky?
No, I think they mean the actual unburnt leaf, what they make the cigars out of.
Okay, I wouldn't know that.
Right. Gabe, did you bring a cigar? Can Sue smell your cigar? Oh. Gabe's tasting it. It's weird, right? You don't have to whisper. You can actually talk.
Yeah, you can talk.
He said he likes whispering.
And whispering is great for the podcast. Anyway, so Gabe had a vocal cord accident at the gay orgy last night.
Oh my! Also called the gorgy.
Wow.
Sorry, I started.
I don't get it. Sheesh.
See, Ed. See what you started. Come on, baby. What you started. I'm incomplete.
That ain't the way to treat the broken-hearted.
Come on,
Finish it!
I love this song. Was there a reference point into what we were doing that led to that song? I don't feel like it fit anything we were doing. It's just a random song, which is okay.
Well, I said, see what you started.
Right.
And it's like, come on, baby.
See, that's why I just want to know how to fit in. I was just out in the dark here. Shot in the dark.
Always got to bring Ozzy up.
See how it fits in?
It fits in.
That's always what she says.
Whatever.
I tell the joke that Paul Hletko told me at the Lounge.
Right. Yes. You might drop that in here.
So, as we've said before on the podcast, we did meet Paul Hletko, who was the founder of Few Spirits at the Lounge. Anders, when he was still there, had organized it. It was a couple years ago.
Nice.
And I was talking to Paul.
As you do.
Near the bar before the tasting had started. And the whiskeys that we were tasting were on the bar. So I asked him, so, hey, Paul, what do you have for us to taste today? And I wasn't going to say the Fews, blah, 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 ha, 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 because he's probably heard the few joke all the time. And he says, well, we have a few. So I'm like, okay. It was like, I wasn't going to say that to you because I felt like you heard it. And he's like, oh, no, I love dumb pun dad jokes.
Oh, that's perfect for Scott.
Yeah. And I said, I do too. And he said, do you want to hear my new favorite joke?
Oh my gosh.
So I'm going to tell it.
All right, here we go.
Let's go.
Hey, did you guys hear that the Swedish military is thinking about putting barcodes on their ships?
No.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah. Apparently, it's so that when the fleet comes into port, they can just Scandinavian.
Wowzers.
Oh my God, I love it.
Isn't that a great joke?
That is a perfect dad joke.
I've been waiting 2 years to say that joke on this podcast. I love that joke. It's so fucking funny. Gabe starts miming again and gets inappropriate.
Just hand it to her.
For those of you listening at home, Gabe is doing charades.
Gabe's trying to determine what Siobhan is saying. Sounds like.
Sounds like, get me a fucking ice cube.
Gabe, you're allowed to talk.
Yeah, what is with the miming?
Okay, Marcel Marceau over there.
He's trapped in a box.
Oh, look. He's walking against the wind.
He's walking down imaginary steps. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. He's self-filleting.
My God.
My God. The next thing we did was a short, the Bullet American Single Malt.
Yes.
Quick taste with
Wow.
Gabe and Jeff.
That seems like a year ago.
I know. This all seems like so long ago.
Yep.
This was an expression that they released without much fanfare,
Yes.
and we just saw it on the shelves and had to try it.
Do we even know it was out? I don't think we knew it was out.
We didn't.
We're walking through one of the local liquor stores, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is the bullet label gray or whatever?
Right.
We didn't know what it was, and then we picked it up, and we're like, it's single malt. We're like, what the hell? Because we do news every single month on what's coming out.
You literally say that on the podcast.
I don't understand how we let that happen.
Yeah. Funny moments I pulled out of this one. So in the beginning, you asked if the four of us had ever done an episode together. And I said, yeah, we did Laddie's Night when we tasted the 14 different flavored whiskeys,
Right.
which led to Peeing Crystal Light.
Peeing Crystal Light.
Peeing Crystal Light.
Okay. I don't remember how they came up, but I'm sure I'll hear it.
Yeah, we hear it right here.
And joining us are a couple of our oldest and closest friends and both Jack and members of this podcast. We have Gabe, the Whiskey Sherpa.
How's everybody doing?
And the Knight Who Says Neat, Jeff.
Hello.
And we've pulled out the all-star lineup. Have we ever been all together?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did Laddie's Night.
Oh, Laddie's Night. How did I forget Laddie's Night? Oh, my God. After that, my A1C was up. There's so much sugar that
14
night.
flavored whiskeys. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my gosh. I was peeing crystal. But anyway.
That was a night to forget.
So we'll cut peeing crystal. But anyway, so.
No, say Peeing Crystal Light. Yeah, you just put it in a glass and serve it like.
Oh, no. See, don't try to make it funny. I'm trying to cut that.
All right.
All right.
Peeing Crystal Light because I'm peeing me.
Believe in Crystal Light 'cause I believe in me.
Now we got to keep
Now we got to keep it. Okay, so.
God damn it.
So then we were talking about the bottle, which was green, but didn't look green. And that led to a quantum physics joke. When we got this, it didn't look like it was a green bottle when it was full. And I had it over here on the tea cart, and Ed and I are sitting in my living room, and I'm looking it up because we can't believe that this wasn't announced. So every picture online was just of the bottle, which was this intense green color. And we're like, that's not green. How is that green? So it's like, isn't the Bullet Rye bottle green? And I was like, no. And it's like,
just
the
label.
label's green.
So dumb.
And I'm like, it's over there. Look at it. And
Look at it, Dick. Look at it. Say it how you said it. Don't clean it up for on air.
I didn't say it like that.
Well, you could have.
I might have.
That's how I took it.
It's true. Well, what happened was I said, look at it, and you didn't. And you said, as long as I don't look at it, I can't be wrong. So I said, what is it, Schrödinger's whiskey?
That's right. It's green and it's clear all at the same time. Right.
I had a nosing note of chlorine pool and ended up inserting that into an old commercial for Del Monte fruit cocktail.
There's like a upfront, like not chemical, but some.
I smell like a chlorine kind
Yes,
of smell.
yes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, like a pool.
Like you walk into the swim club the first time of the year.
Gabe, put your towel back on.
Yeah, right. Like we always have to say.
The water was cold. Yep.
Whatever.
Yeah, so it's like a chlorine scent with an undertone of fruit.
Yeah, there is a lot of fruit in this. You're right. It's like opening up a can of Del Monte mixed fruit.
Like fruit cocktail.
Yes.
And the sweetness. I get
Like
the
a-
sweetness
like
too.
a
Yeah.
fish.
Yes, or so to wrap it up, you take fruit cocktail and you pour bleach in it.
Just like the 70s sold it.
Well, do we have enough now, Mother Nature, to start making your Del Monte fruit cocktail? Do we, huh? Do we?
Let's see. Peaches, pears,
Chlorine.
pineapple, grapes, cherries. Yes, now we can start.
At Del Monte, Mother Nature is on our side.
I'm not behind any of this.
No,
Bullet.
no, I'm just joking.
Bullet, this is them talking. I love you.
Go to sleep, kids. Here's your cocktail.
It's really just
Right.
a whiff of chlorine. You're kind of like, what is that? And you're like, that's what it is.
Gabe's over here promoting Munchausen.
Yeah. It's like the lunch lady went psychotic and put chlorine in all the kids' fruit.
I know.
Oh my God. No, see, that's Munchausen by proxy syndrome.
Exactly right.
Anybody like some Jim Jones fruit cocktail?
Oh my God.
It's killer.
Oh.
Well, and I want to celebrate our long and healthy bullet relationship coming to an end.
Going down in flames.
Oh my God. I'm kind of remembering all this now. It's like a bad dream coming back to get you.
And at the end, Jeff told you to fuck off.
Yeah. It's just a nice, drinkable whiskey. I'll buy it again, and I'm glad that we tried it. I want to thank Gabe and Jeff for coming out.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And so for the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
I am.
Jeff.
Now we are talking over. All right.
I'm so sorry. I'm Jeff.
And I am Gabe.
We're all sorry you're Jeff.
Fuck off.
Cheers, everybody.
Later.
Jeff's great. Like, if you poke Gabe, you poke Scott, it takes time for them to get there, you know? But Jeff hears one thing, and he goes, oh, fuck you. He just goes...
Jeff goes 0 to 60 in 1 second.
Because he's right. I mean, Gabe could tell me to fuck off like every other sentence, but he spars me. He goes, I'm like, you're a little bitch. Oh, you would know. You're the captain bitch, you know?
I stealthily wait till another joke, like 10 minutes later.
Right. Scott just waits like a punjay stick trap in Vietnam, like waiting for me to step into it.
Or I just cut you out the whole entire episode.
Is it too soon to make punjay jokes, Scott?
Oh, my God.
We had a conversation about this.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I'll change it. Scott just sits there waiting like a pile of dog shit, waiting for me to step in it. Use that one.
I light it on the fire on your porch, you bitch. All right. The next thing we did was a bonus short, Star Trek Spirits, the Captain Table, batch number 2. Gabe and Jeff were on this. Also, we interviewed Craig, Howard, and Crispin Kane, as Ed said earlier, who was just a fountain of distilling information.
Yeah.
It was a 14-minute whiskey lesson.
I've learned some great distillery information from our guests over the years, Greg Snyder being one of the most informative, but Crispin knows so much about distilling whiskey, and he broke it down in such a slow, methodical way that we were able to really absorb it. Normally, we wouldn't leave like 20 plus minutes of someone talking in a row. Yeah. It's just not normally good podcast. Yeah. But this time, it would have been an absolute crime to stop him. Yeah. He was just on a roll, going off the top of his head with all the knowledge he's accumulated. He is an amazing individual to talk with.
Yeah, and the bottle they sent us, a full bottle in that presentation package. You've seen it on our Instagram if you follow us. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's still there. We still have some left.
Yeah, we've been really good about doling it out and drinking some because it's such a good whiskey. And it was one of the most expensive whiskeys gifted to us on the podcast by somebody. And so it deserves our respect. And I have to tell you, thankfully, it's some of the best whiskey I ever drank. Yeah.
Funny moments in here. Mostly they were Jeff dropping his Star Trek knowledge several times.
Yes.
So from the bottle shape.
So the bottle is a very nice... Jeff, how would you describe it? It's like a
photon torpedo.
Yes. That's a very good analysis.
To where the planet that he'd aged the whiskey on...
Jeff, what planet would you age this on if you were on the original series? To get the best climate.
It would have to be Cessus 3, where the Gorn reptilian person met Captain Kirk, and they had a duel to the death.
Oh, yeah, it was a very dry planet. It was almost like a New Mexico or Arizona type of topography.
One more question, Jeff. You being the Star Trek fan, wasn't one of the movies based on a birth of a new planet where they were watching it basically evolve and grow? Was it Genesis?
The planet Genesis?
You think that would affect the aging process?
To where he gets his barrels from.
Yes. Jeff, where would you get your barrels from if you were in the original series?
Separate from the aging.
We need a heavily forested planet.
Would this be Vulcan oak?
The Andorian birch.
There we go. I like that.
To his tasting notes.
So that's one of the reasons I think that they were so generous to give this to us, to ask us to review it, is because they want to see what we come up with.
I'm getting a candied Regulin bloodworm. So if you know, you know.
I thought he was saying regular wrong. I'm like, no, it's regular. And he's no, Regulin bloodworm.
Yeah.
How's that for a tasting note?
Exactly.
as much as Crispin Kane is a fountain of knowledge about whiskey, Jeff is a fountain of knowledge about Star Trek.
Yeah, he's amazing.
The other funny thing was we talked about how we were getting like a savory, almost bacon note on it, which led to a disagreement between you and Gabe.
No, I can't believe that. I'll be honest, I'm not tasting the bacon as much as I'm in the saltiness, but
it's like a fattiness.
But you understand what the ballpark I'm in, though.
Just because I don't taste it doesn't mean you're not tasting it. My palate is my palate.
Just say I'm wrong, Ed. That's what you want. That's what you want to say. Just say it.
Gabe's wrong.
Let's not fight in front of the Star Trek spirit people.
I know.
Please, not in front of the Klingons.
It was a really great episode. Fun interview and a fun time with Jeff and Gabe.
Yeah.
With a great fucking spirit.
Outstanding. Yep.
The next thing we did was episode 74, Rabbit Hole, Bourbon ×3. It got a little dark with the guests Marty and Rachel.
And Scott's Dead Rabbits.
Yeah. Off air, the four of us had separately been trying and liking various rabbit hole expressions out in the world. It only seemed right that we should do an episode together. The whiskeys we did were the Cave Hill, the High Gold, and the Derringer.
Derringer was good.
Yeah. Exceptional.
Yeah, that's the one that I went to sleep with that night, if you know what I mean.
A lot of funny moments in this one. You, sir, not even 3 minutes into the podcast, mocked my manhood and Gabe's. You don't remember that?
Oh.
Well, here it is right here.
Oh, Jesus. 93 proof, aged 7 years, so it's the most special one tonight. And then we're going to talk about some other whiskeys you can get from a Rabbit Hole distillery.
That's right.
Right, and then we're going to finish off the cookies that Rachel baked and eat some enchiladas and do what we do.
That's right. So the history of Rabbit Hole, it's not very long. It's like 5 short paragraphs.
Like Scott.
Shade.
And Gabe.
Oh, right. You got to get a Gabe.
Right, not to leave him out.
Wow. Yeah, I walked right into that one.
Or back into it.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Jesus. La, 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 la. First la la la's. We're not even 3 minutes into the podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's
See?
right.
See?
Yeah.
See what I mean?
No, I see that. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Can't help myself.
A tangent on breakfast cereal leads us to creating fake tasting notes for a Lucky Strike washed bourbon.
Lucky Strike?
Lucky Strike washed bourbon. Yeah, here it is right here.
I actually saw an Instagram reel for Lucky Charms washed bourbon to make a Manhattan with.
Wow.
And they put a couple little the marshmallows
The
on top.
marshmallows.
Yeah, kind of interesting.
In the 50s, that would have been Lucky Strike wash bourbon.
It tastes a lot of tobacco and cancer on this.
And lies. And corporate lies.
Corporate lies. Corporate lies, lawsuits, and emphysema.
Wow, that was...
Went dark.
I turned an innocent mash bill description into something that you guys did not see coming. The proof, again, this is also 95.
Yes.
The mash bill is different, though. It's 70% corn, 25% German malted rye, and 5% German malted barley.
With crack sprinkled on top. A sprinkling of crack.
Yeah, and a touch of Nazi.
Wow.
What?
Z.
Too soon?
Z.
Too soon? Sieg Heigold.
Wow. If you wonder where we lose our sponsorships, that's the moment for Rabbit Hole right there.
Okay, but when did he come over? Because maybe it was...
It was 1840.
It was the 1840s, yeah.
It was pre-fleeing.
Yes.
It was pre-everything.
It was way before the Nazis. I am sorry.
That's right.
You start describing the effect that water turns whiskey molecules from a chain to a pyramid,
Right,
like we
yep,
learned
right.
on that news episode.
But
Rachel doesn't believe you,
Right.
and you ended up shading yourself.
I mean, I get mint all over it now.
Yeah. It's crazy.
All over it. And I didn't get that without the water. That's true.
Yeah, the water brings out the mint.
Well, when you add water to something or lower the temperature, Scott, it changes the water molecules.
That's right.
From a chain to a pyramid. And it's a pyramid that we think...
No, that's true.
No, it's true, though.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
we just did the news. It was a science story of the news.
I thought you were joking. I was
No.
like, no, that's
No, he's
can't
actually
be
That's
true.
actually true.
He's actually
All
not
right.
joking.
She's like, it's too dumb to know that.
All right.
Shade. Yeah.
I'll be quiet
And
now.
shading himself.
Oh.
Right. I'd rather be wrong than go against Rachel.
Yeah.
Even if I'm right.
A comment that you make about doing crack cocaine leads to a tangent about Marty and Rachel's dogs.
We have no control of what our taste buds do on our tongue. That's what's interesting. I know for a fact it matters what we drank before, what we've eaten for dinner, whether or not you've done crack cocaine this week. It all matters.
Marty.
Marty. That's the funny thing ever. Rachel's more likely to do crack cocaine than I.
It's true. It's true.
Well, no. In the family, Cooper's most likely to do crack cocaine. By far.
Yeah.
Cooper's most likely.
That explains a lot.
He's doing it right now.
Yeah.
His dealer just left.
I think we should mention that Cooper is a dog,
Okay.
not their son.
Right.
He's a 12-pound little dog.
Right. He spits his toy out, does the crack, and picks the toy right back up. Cooper, yeah. I mean, they have great dogs.
They do. They have awesome dogs. We did the top 10 rabbit fun facts.
Yes.
A lot of comedy in that.
Yes.
Rachel and Marty did their Kentucky trip, which is the whole reason why we had them on.
Right, because they brought one of these bottles. I think Derringer came back from Kentucky.
It did. And you gabed both Marty and Rachel. By gabing, that means you interrupt them before they can continue. The latter of which caused you to get randomly belligerent with Gabe.
Once we put a little water in it and we really explored it, all those flavors started to come out. And it showed why it's the superior whiskey. Because at my first sip, I'm like, is this that much better than what I've had tonight? Is this worth the extra money? And actually it is, in my opinion. Rachel, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean...
okay, we're out of time. Marty, I'm just kidding. I never gave Rachel before.
Rachel, you just got gabed.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
Gabe, I'm there for you. Sorry, buddy.
Gabe commiserates.
Gabe, you're at home, you little bitch. Shut up. Don't listen to us.
Random belligerence. It's being mean to Gabe again. Edition. Oh, wow.
Gabe wasn't even on that episode.
He wasn't even on that episode. And yet
it happened.
That's right. The next thing that we did, possibly our funniest episode, maybe ever, Whiskey Wormhole 1982, the Old St. Andrews Golf Ball Scotch, Do You Need Some Tylenol? With Siobhan and Sue. So this was only our second Wormhole episode on whiskey we got from your brother's friend 3 years ago.
Skip, yeah.
That's right. Finally decided to taste it.
It was St. Andrews Scotch.
Yeah, and riff on the events of 1982, which is when the expression was released. Funny moments, like all podcasts with Sue and Siobhan, it goes off the rails quickly at 1 minute and 47 seconds
into the episode.
Yeah. So the company that made the whiskey started in 1969, which is also the year Sue was born.
I can see right away what the problem was.
I know. So this is from scotchwhiskey.com and Old St. Andrews' own website. They're still around.
Yeah.
So Old St. Andrews Limited was established in London, England in 1969.
69.
I was born.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah. Double.
That's inappropriate.
You've listened to our podcast, right?
It's a baby.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, but your mom would have been there. Like,
that's true. And you did look like her.
Still, this is going.
Literally, I've not even had a sentence yet.
We've hit an embankment.
This is what happens every time. We were giving golf-themed tasting notes, and Sue said that she was tasting Old Men in White Shorts.
I'm tasting 9 iron.
9 iron?
Yeah, I'm tasting them in the tall grass.
I'm tasting Old Men in White Shorts.
Wow.
We're just going to cut out and just have you tasting Old Men and leave it at that in the edit.
Oh, my God.
Tasting Old Men.
All you got to do is lean left.
Or right, but over Siobhan. Wow. The ladies get inappropriate when I say I'm going to finish the tasting notes. So I'll do the finish, and then we'll finish.
Yeah. Oh,
and then we'll do 1982.
We'll finish.
Yeah, I like when you tell me when you're going to finish.
And don't forget to tell me where.
Oh my God. Down boy.
Can't believe none of that was said by me. I'm over here minding my business.
I know, Ed's being appropriate for once.
I love when the whiskey hits the girls.
Yeah, I mean, they're more inappropriate than we are.
Well, yes, of course.
Yeah, people think we're inappropriate, but
Well, we are.
yeah,
But
they are too.
if there's more than one girl on the program
Oh yeah, they like
and they get
amplify.
whiskey,
Yeah.
then it gets off the rails real quick.
So then we talk about 1982, the year. First, we did economic indicators like the prices of stuff, and then
Right.
the events that happened. The main one, I think, was the Tylenol poisoning scare that happened in 1982, which was awful chapter in American history. And then later, Sue had a great callback when, after we did the top 10 TV shows and movies, you were impatient to end the podcast and didn't want to do the top 10 songs. And the number one movie of 1982, E.T., the Extraterrestrial.
Absolutely. Had to be.
Henry Thomas and Drew Barrymore and a bunch of nobodies.
A bunch of nobody.
All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. It's been amazing.
Why are you rushing us?
Will you stop it?
whole episode.
Slow down.
All right.
That's what everybody tells Ed. Slow down.
Shade.
Yeah.
All right, so that is it for the 1982 Whiskey Wormhole episode.
But didn't you have songs?
Yeah, we're not doing it tonight.
but I wanted to sing
too.
some of them.
No, it's too much.
Oh, no. Do the 10 songs or else I'm going to hear it all night. Do the 10 songs.
Okay, all right. By request from the ladies, being annoying.
Do you need some Tylenol?
That was a great callback.
Just give Ed Tylenol.
Yeah, it gives Ed some Tylenol. Which became the title of the episode. Just a really
Very
great,
funny. Yeah.
lot of fun.
I just knew we had a whole episode to do after that, so I was like, let's.
Yeah, because we did that before the few episode.
Right, so I'm like, we have a whole episode to do. I think we recorded like 45, 50 minutes.
Yeah, it was long.
And that doesn't count stopping. So I'm like, we've already been doing this an hour and a half clock time. I'm like, let's go, you know?
The next thing we did was the bonus short of the Pinhook Vertical 8-year Quick Taste.
Yeah.
Marty and Rachel, again, of course, this was our fourth Quick Taste of the ongoing Vertical series from Pinhook, and each one has been better than the last. Do you agree?
Fair.
Yeah. Funny moments here were you were looking for the bottle, and I say something that my mom used to say when I was a kid and couldn't find something that was right in front of my face. And then, of course, you had to say inappropriate things about my mom.
The finish of 7, when you go back to it, is so different.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird. I know I drank the 8, but when I nose the 7, maple comes out 100% now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's really changed the nose even.
Scott, where's the current bottle? Where's 8? We didn't drink this much.
It's behind you.
God damn it. I looked. I didn't see it.
It's right there. If it was a snake, it would have bit you, as my mom would say. Don't say anything about my mom. I knew you were going to.
If Rachel wasn't here, I would have said something.
Thank you.
I would have said, I got a snake for your mom. But I won't say it now that Rachel's here.
Oh, I'm so disappointed.
Thank God Rachel was here.
That was fun. I thought it was going to be something like, your mom bit me.
Well, thank God I'm here, so you guys aren't
Thank
saying
God
all
we
these
didn't say
things.
any of that because Rachel was here.
That's right. Thank God.
Blame
We
me.
didn't.
Your mom's a lovely woman and incredibly flexible.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You bastard. All right, so after we did that, one of the best whiskeys that we've had, not just in this season, maybe ever, we did a short on the William LaRue Weller, and it was amazing.
Wow, like people say, is there a whiskey worth $1,500 a bottle? And the answer is no. But if someone was to ask me what's the best $1,500 bottle I've ever had, it would be that one. It was so good that if it was $300, I would buy it.
Yeah.
If it was $400, I would think about it. And I would think, can I talk Scott into buying it? And I know I would have buyer's regret as soon as I bought it, but every time I sipped it, I would feel vindicated. Yeah. It was spectacular. Now, how this did not win,
I know.
I mean, I think this came in like 5th or something, or 6th. It was in the top of the Global Whiskey Spirits.
Yeah, it was in their final round.
Yeah, right.
At the Global Whiskey Challenge in New York City, which we went to.
Yes.
And they gave it to us.
Right, because they only took the top 4 home with them because they were flying, and they were like, here, we have open bottles, just take them.
Right, so they were very generous with us.
The last 2 years, I would say that I enjoyed that the most. I think that whiskey was the best whiskey in my flavor profile.
Right, so the funny moments have in this one, we're patting ourselves on the back about our collective tasting notes, trying to press the judges that we met. Dark caramel, spiced cherry, burnt sugar, dark chocolate,
nice,
vanilla swirled fudge, hot chocolate with marshmallows, cinnamon oatmeal, cooked apples and citrus peel.
Oh, I did say apples on the palate.
I said citrus peel.
I did. No, we did good. We did really good with this.
Like the two of us together, we nailed these notes.
I feel like I want the judges to be like, good job, guys. I'm just kidding. They're not listening to us. Right. We want to make sure we have good taste in it. Like, it tastes burny and vanilla.
Talking about how expensive the bottle gets on the secondary, and we ended up painting a sad scenario involving pizza bites.
I mean, if it was $300, I don't know. I'd have to spend all night thinking about it.
Yeah.
Just by myself, sitting in my boxers, in a recliner, contemplating my life in the universe. Do I want to buy this for $300? Because I really might. It's that good to me.
300's a lot, but sitting here right now, tasting it and how good it is, I think I might pull the trigger.
Because then I'd be like, Scott, it's really $150. We'll just split the bottle.
But tomorrow I might be like buyer's remorse. What the fuck am I doing? $300 a bottle of whiskey.
Well, especially when you find me passed out with 2/3 of a bottle empty on my chest and some pizza bites.
Oh, geez. And there's like pieces of pizza bite in the whiskey.
Just drinking out the bottle. Why do we create that scene? I would never do that. What we do for the sake of comedy. Oh, God.
Yeah, they're in the whiskey. Yeah. So the next thing that we did, episode 75, the frozen whiskey cocktails.
Oh.
You're holding your cocktail wrong. Guests Marty and Paula.
So delicious. So much better than I expected.
Yeah, this was a hard one to schedule, though.
Yes.
So first we wanted Anders to come on
Yeah.
and do tiki drinks made with whiskey. Then he couldn't make it, so we decided to do something along the same lines with just frozen blended cocktails I found on the internet and have Aaliyah and Paula on, the whiskey chicks.
Right.
But Aaliyah couldn't make it, so then we were complaining about it when we were at the lounge with Marty and Rachel.
Right.
And Rachel said she was going to be out of town, but Marty was free, which is how we ended up with the odd pairing of Paula and Marty. And it turned out great.
It turned out great. The frozen Manhattan, which sounds terrible, even as I say it right now. Like frozen drinks are just stuff you throw at tourists on a cruise ship or something, you know? They're not for real cocktail connoisseurs. It was spectacular. You did an amazing job preparing the cocktails that episode.
It was a Manhattan slushy, strawberry lemonade frozen whiskey sour, high on the hog that had the maple and the bacon, and the divine Oreo chocolate bourbon shake. You guys were just setting up the names in the app that I used to manage the whiskey thing.
Right.
And you set me up. Pick a name and then I should see you. Chick. Paula is Chick.
Can't think of a name right now.
Aaliyah Stalker.
Oh, she was here, absolutely.
I'm sure she'll listen to it. Empty?
Yeah, those are my initials. MT.
Oh, I see. The first and middle. Frozen. Ed is frozen.
Yeah.
The original.
Don't make a big deal, Scott. Let it go. Let it go. Just play your stupid game.
You totally set me up.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
You guys are genius.
Okay, buzz in. Can you buzz in? Frozen empty chick is how it came home.
Frozen empty chick. There we go.
Oh, I'm so dumb.
We all got stripper names.
So God, what was my stripper name?
What, do you remember the stripper names?
No,
you don't? Okay,
no.
so yours was Heavy Pink.
Oh my God.
Marty's was Chunky Sour.
God, terrible.
Mine was Thick Cut.
We did not give Rachel a stripper name.
Not Rachel.
Oh, Paula, that's right.
Yeah, we did get Paula's stripper name because it dovetailed into your story why Egyptian slaves are sometimes covered in honey.
Right. But I'll tell you something else. You want to hear fucked up? The Egyptians. I know you always see videos of like people fanning the king or queen with giant fans, which is true. But in the summer when mosquitoes and bugs were a problem, they would have slaves coated in honey so that the bugs would go to them and leave the king and queen alone. And they would have to stand on the edges of where the king and queen were. You think I'm lying. I'm not lying. That's
brilliant.
So
Brilliant.
if you wonder what it's like to really be a swell, that's what it means.
Wow.
So if you think everybody in America and the world, since we're global, 92 countries, if you think your life is tough, you could have been an Egyptian slave covered in honey.
That's right.
Which is why covered in honey has never been a dancer name for me.
That was Paula's. What's Paula's?
Paula was
No,
never a
Paula,
dancer.
no. Oh, sorry.
Now you have to cut it, or else we're going to get sued by her husband.
He doesn't.
Not just him. Nobody listens to you, but him especially doesn't listen to you. But Aaliyah's laughing.
That's true. Wherever she is,
Right.
Aaliyah's laughing. Great episode. It turned out great. After all the planning and the trials of getting people here, it ended up terrific. I love our cocktail episodes.
Oh, they're always fun.
It's one of the greatest traditions we have.
Yeah, it's a party in a glass.
Yeah. The next thing we did was the short on how to infuse your whiskey.
Wow, what an interesting episode that was.
Yeah,
eye-opening.
I had been planning to do this for a long time because I got the same infusion kit a few years apart.
Yep.
We finally figured we should do it, and like you said, it was a huge surprise. The whiskeys that we used for the infusion were Bulleit and Woodford. And the funny moments that I pulled out of this is where I finally had the opportunity to drop in snippets of the Monty Python Cheese Shop skit, because in previous podcasts we would reference it, but we never explained it. So we ended up explaining it.
And so we're going to taste these right now. First, going to drink some Woodford.
Yeah, Woodford. Never had this before.
Shot of Woodford. Nothing like that. Still a very nice drinkable whiskey.
It's so smooth. Every time I come back to it, you know, it's weird. I taste a little bit of chocolate.
Yeah.
Is that there? Or am I crazy?
No, I mean, of course, Woodford has their own notes by itself.
Oh, yeah, of course. But the chocolate surprised me.
It's the single most popular cheese in the world.
Don't get much coffee around here.
Gorgonzola, Parmesan, Mozzarella, pepper creme, any Danish Finbo, Czechoslovakian sheep's milk cheese, Venezuelan beaver cheese.
Not today, sir, no.
Well, let's keep it simple. How about cheddar?
Well, I'm afraid we don't get much call for it round these parts, sir.
It's the single most popular cheese in the world.
Not round these parts, sir.
It's not much of a cheese shop, really, is it?
Finest in the district, sir.
And what leads you to that conclusion?
Well, it's so clean.
Well, it's certainly uncontaminated by cheese.
Your reaction to my spice bomb infusion, where I used maybe a few too many chili pods. This smells a little bit like yours.
It does, because of the Chimex. But there's cinnamon bark and chili pods, which I hope is going to come across on the flavor.
Right, but what's missing is the orange.
Yeah, there's no orange, but there's cinnamon now.
Oh my God, this smells so good. So this smells a little bit less like a gin than the front of the run, but it's ginny. Did you taste it?
Oh my God, it's really hot. It's burning my throat. It's so hot. It's like ghost pepper.
That's why it's called the spice bomb.
Oh my God, it won't stop burning. I don't think I can drink any more of it.
Okay.
Am I lying? I'm sweating.
Oh my God.
How is that so hot? It hit me so hard.
It was super hot. Everybody that we've had try it have also had the same reaction.
Yes, absolutely.
So to be fair, the next funny moment was near the end, we were giving recommendations to people on how to use the whiskey kits. And I told them to use Jim Beam, and you go in this whole rant mocking me that I'm telling people to drink bad whiskey.
Get their kit, honestly. Do your whiskey your way. I think you're going to have a blast. Get some friends over.
Yeah, take something like Jim Beam or something that doesn't have a lot of flavor.
Jim Beam Black Label. No one's asking you to start with a white label.
No, just start with a white label and make it better.
Bastard.
No, that's what I mean. Make it better.
I mean, you can make the black better also.
Okay.
Why couldn't they just use Woodford and Bull like us? Why are you punishing our audience? Use Early Times. Use the handle of Heaven Hill.
Use Old Crow.
Right. Use the handle of that McKenna bottle with the plastic on it.
Oh my God.
Use Old Crow. Why not? Make that better.
That's what I said.
We're not going to do it, but you do it, assholes.
Wow.
That's you talking. No. I'm mocking you.
It's literally your voice. I'm going to take out the thing where you said you mocked me, and I'm just going to leave in that it was your idea to do the Old Crow.
I'm telling them to use Woodford and Bulleit. You're the one that's taking our audience down the wrong path.
I did. I know. Okay, let's just close this out. I mean, sometimes I don't know why I'm friends with you at all.
I don't know why. Because I'm funny. At least that's what they say.
All right, so the next episode that we did, God, we did a lot of episodes. I'm tired of doing this, actually. Episode 76, Johnny Walker, time 6. You could drink this all day, but why? The guest, Joe. So last Christmas, I saw a sampler pack of the Johnny Walker in the gift section of a liquor store, and I got the idea to do economically an episode on a brand that we've never really talked about.
Right. And some of the bottles are pricey.
Yeah. And serendipitously, Joe went to Scotland like 2 weeks before we had the podcast, which was really great. The whiskeys that we had were the red, the black, the high rye, the gold reserve, the 18-year, and the blue.
Right. 4 came in the pack, including the blue and the 18, which are both expensive bottles if you buy them separately.
Yeah.
So to get 200 milliliters of the blue and 200 milliliters of the 18, I think the pack was $90.
Yeah.
Amazing. To the point where Joe went to the store the next day and bought 2 packs, one for me, one for him.
Yeah.
Because I figured it's a great way to have scotch in the house when I have scotch drinkers stop by because, what do you want? I got black. If I like you, I can give you the 18 or the gold reserve, or
and if I really like you,
you can get some of that blue.
That's right.
Hey, what about the Johnny Walker Blue?
Johnny Walker Blue is the pappy of scotches. So Joe went to Scotland and Ireland, as I said, and he was talking about their accents, which eventually led to oral sex.
What?
Yeah.
Was it my fault again?
Probably.
Fantastic. I mean, castles. The hotel that we're in looked like a castle.
Oh.
The views, wonderful. Drinks, wonderful. People, wonderful. And we completely understood their accents.
Oh, had no problem.
No problem whatsoever.
Oh.
Then we get over to Ireland. I don't know what the fuck they were saying.
Really? That's so funny because people usually complain that they can't understand Scottish accents.
We understood every Scottish person we talked to.
Oh, that's so funny.
We get over to Ireland. We're like, what the fuck are they saying? Went to this off the beaten path bar the first night. This old man, him and another old gentleman playing up front. This bar is packed. Everyone in that bar is singing to one another. People are buying, like you don't even know anyone. Someone bought me a shot of, what's the Irish whiskey over there? Jameson. Someone bought me a shot of Jameson.
That's the Irish whiskey over here too, Joe. Here we think Joe's going over some obscure thing.
Yeah, but
I bet it's different Jameson than we get.
Maybe.
It might be. I was 4 Guinnesses into this by the time coming around.
Yeah, you weren't tasting, I got
But if you've never been over to Scotland or Ireland, I highly recommend it. Our trip got derailed a bit because Aer Lingus, the pilots were going on strike the day that we were flying home.
Yeah.
And
you should have phoned Cunny.
Cunny Lingus?
Yeah, you should have been on Cunny Lingus.
Yeah, Cunny Lingus would work.
Better than Aer Lingus did.
Aer Lingus did not work for us.
Oh, my God.
Usually Cunny Lingus gets you where you need to go.
It gets her where
right. Well, but it all comes back to you if you do it right. But always get you ahead. You know what I mean, Joe? Go ahead.
What up, bub?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So Joe says in the beginning that we're doing the podcast naked, but he later brings it up again, and we get into like phallic Olympic sports equipment. All right, we are back for our last 2 expressions, the 18-year and the blue label, and Ed's going to first tell us about the 18-year.
Yeah.
Before you get started, I'm just wondering, are you guys ever going to put on clothes today?
Well, it's the air conditioning's not really doing what I thought it would. Of course, he's joking, and we're both wearing loincloths because of the Olympics.
Right, we're not completely naked.
The traditional Greek garb.
Yeah. Right. We had our togas on, but now it's just loincloths.
Yeah.
With the laurel around the head.
Laurels, yes.
Yeah. Except the only event we seem to be doing is the javelin around here, if you know what I mean. All right, so anyway.
The pole vault in my case. But which is super funny because after we ended the podcast and we were watching just YouTube, just randomly, the French pole vaulter who jumped over the thing and his package hit the bar and knocked it off. Right. So that's why he didn't make the jump.
Right, but he doesn't have a free date night the rest of his life.
I know. It's so great. So the next thing we did was a bonus short, the Coalition Sauterne Barrique Rye Quick Taste. This was when Marty and Paula were here, but we released it afterwards.
A great bottle.
Great bottle.
Did not like the whiskey.
Yeah, it was sort of an odd expression you picked up at the liquor store because it was packaged with Blanton's. Yeah. You wanted the Blanton's, and you're like, well, I'll buy Blanton's for cheap if I get this whiskey as kind of a bonus.
Yeah, so I bought like 2 of them and picked it up. The bottles by itself was going for about $75, so it's not out of the question what they did here. I'm not getting hosed.
Right. So it was finished in Sauterne. So we had some Sauterne wine for drinking it. Marty told us he used to drink Sauterne wine to lose weight.
Which I don't believe because it was nothing like the wine he was drinking.
Right, I know.
So I think he had a different, I mean, he's not here now, so I can talk ish. I don't think he drank Saltern wine because this Saltern wine is like a sweet dessert.
Yeah, it really is.
And by the way, certainly not something you would drink to lose weight.
Right. It didn't seem like you would.
It seemed like a candy bar.
Yeah. It was very sweet. We really liked it, though.
Oh, yeah.
So that led to Paul Newman and cocaine.
As it does. This is delicious.
It's pretty good.
It's so good. It's such a nice way to start the day. It's like,
It's thick and
I'm going to have this for breakfast every morning. Like, just roll out of bed, have a little bottle right on the edge of the bed, like a bad writer from the 20s. You know what I mean? Just pour it. Got one of those, like, white T-shirt with no sleeves and some boxers and just walk up to the balcony.
Like Paul Newman and Cat in a hot tin roof.
Exactly. Except with a glass of Sauterne at the ass crack of dawn.
All right. So let me tell you how to class this up. So we would make this as part of a punch. We would add the Saltern wine to a May wine and add some ginger ale to it and obviously blend it together. And then we would have frozen strawberries and pineapples floating in it. And we would serve it at one of our fancy events.
Along with a bump of cocaine. It's optional.
For you. Cocaine's good for you.
Right. That's the only thing that ever helped me lose weight. The only thing.
I walk right into a joke saying it's fruitier with the water in it, which eventually leads back to Monty Python again. So I really didn't like it. Putting the water on it does help, like you were saying, Paula, because it brings out the sweetness that I was not getting.
I find it drinkable. It's not harsh. It's not a put-off. It's strange.
Yeah, it's very drying. It's fruitier with the water in it. I'm going to even put a little bit more water in it because I think I like it that way, which is not... You guys know.
You're fruitier with the whiskey in you.
God damn you.
Hate to say it, but I like it if I don't...
I thought he was going to agree with me. I hate to say it, but Ed's right.
No, yes.
You are flamboyant when you drink.
Oh, my God.
Go ahead, Marty. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I like it if I don't swallow it. Like, I don't like the back end finish.
Yeah. I love the first part of it.
Yeah, just don't swallow it.
And I kind of hate the second
part. So I will
part.
say this. There's no real finish to me. All the flavor hits you in the first 65% of the sip. And then the last 35% is just this burning alcohol feeling in my throat.
Yeah. It's paper.
It doesn't finish right.
No, it doesn't.
But it's really good up front. And it's so funny. It's if I could find a way to never have to swallow it. Maybe we should do like chewing tobacco. Like suck it in, swirl, and spit it out.
Oh, this is definitely one for tasting and spitting out.
Right. If this went to a competition, it'd probably get like double platinum. And then they drink it at home like, oh, it's not that good.
So it reminds me of a Monty Python skit. They had Australian table wines. And then Eric Idle was like, this is a wine for putting down and avoiding. So after that, we did a promise. There's only 3 more.
No, it's fine. I'm digging it. Go ahead.
No, I'm talking about the listeners. Number 78, the last full episode that we did, Garrison Brothers Bourbon ×5, Texas Shade with Anders.
Right.
This was another one that I've been planning for a while, but because they're so expensive, we were sort of waiting. And then when we got the Guadalupe half bottle from the Whiskey Challenge guys,
right.
we figured it was now or never. And of course, Anders came back. It was great to have him on the podcast. He had a lot of stories about the brand and the founders because of the tasting that he had in the lounge, and he met one of the brothers.
Yep.
We did their small batch, the Honeydew, the Guadalupe, the Balmorhea, the Cowboy bourbon, as Ed said when we tasted the Ladybird. But I forgot that we actually tasted a single barrel from Garrison Brothers on Jeff's vault.
We did?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that night.
The only reason I remember it is because I wrote it down in the description of the podcast.
Wow.
I don't remember it.
Wow.
But, so we might have to go back and listen to it later.
Yeah, because I do not remember drinking that.
Yeah. If I'm wrong, then our podcast is a lie. Lots of funny moments on this one, actually. So in the Few episode, Sue and Siobhan were talking about how they always have to do their descriptions in a sexy voice.
Yes.
But they complained that we never do it in our sexy voices. Well, that all changed when you did it in your sexy voice on this episode.
I'm sure people really enjoyed it, too.
Okay, so we are back, and Ed has a description of the third whiskey that we're drinking, the Guadalupe Bourbon.
Right. It's the perfect marriage of bourbon and port, aged first in toasted and charred white American oak barrels, and then in beautiful port casks imported from Portugal. Guadalupe is the same award-winning Garrison Brothers Texas Straight bourbon you love, with a delicate sweet port wine finish. It's a sensuous, creamy liquid, exploding with unique flavors and character. Hey, starts getting a little... It's a sensuous, creamy liquid, exploding with unique flavors and character, making it the perfect bourbon for connoisseurs and sophisticated palates. We'd like you to consider Guadalupe as your dessert bourbon and encourage you to enjoy it with clothes or without. Pair it with your favorite chocolates. We can't wait for you all to try it. Guadalupe Bourbon, for the moment that no one can miss.
I think I got the vapor. Is it hot in here, Anders?
Oh.
Quite randy.
So randy. You ask Anders how much he paid for one of the whiskeys, so he tells a whole story about it.
The price is around $180. Anders, you can or cannot tell us where and when you got this.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. You could just say, I got it for less than that and keep moving.
Actually, I'll tell you exactly. Oh. So when we did our first whiskey tasting over at the local, and Charlie shows up and we're shooting the shit, and he goes like, yeah, I was at Total Wine and More, and there was like 5 bottles of Garrison Brothers Balmorhea. You can't find that shit anywhere. And I'm not the kind of person either with the budget or the lack of manners to just buy all of someone's stock outright.
Yeah, people do though.
But in this occasion, after drinking it, I was like, I could get most of them. I did pretty well this month. So I got 3 bottles.
Oh, you got 3. Okay, that was nice.
I love that story. That story's better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Normally, that's a terrible story. Like, I thought it was on sale, but it's not, so I paid more than I wanted. Okay, thanks, Drew. Okay.
No, it was really good. There was that time that I revealed that I was doing a little bit more than drinking that night.
And again, mentioning the fact that 4 years in Texas is not 4 years.
No.
Because you might ask yourself, how dare you, have a $180 bottle that's 4 years old?
And you may ask yourself, my God, what have I done? And the days go by, water flowing on.
And the crickets earn money.
Here they come again. Once in a lifetime. All right. Woo! Scott had a gummy.
Legal in New Jersey, everybody, so back off.
That's right, legal in New Jersey. We created a new kind of shade. Some might say the biggest shade of all, Texas shade.
Texas shade.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Whiskey Tangent. It's your boy Anders here with Ed and Scott. And Scott is going to tell us a little bit about the great state of Texas.
That's right. Top 10 fun facts about Texas.
Well, first of all, I didn't know there was 10 things good about Texas.
Damn.
Texas shade.
Texas shade.
Something else they don't have a lot of. Right? Because I don't really picture Texas having any shade, which is funny. I know they have to have it. But
right. There's got trees.
Do they? I feel like they don't. They do, but in my mind, they just have tumbleweed.
So 2 more.
Yep.
We're almost done.
We're almost done.
The short we did with Cedar Ridge Quintessential Cigar Malt Project.
Oh, my God. One of the best whiskeys I've ever drank in my life, and it's gone forever. Cedar Ridge, I hate you and love you.
Gone forever. That we did that with Joe.
He was so mad that he couldn't buy a bottle online and ruined his whole night.
So occasionally, but not often, I see something that intrigues me to the point that I really must get it. It was a whiskey we highlighted on a news episode.
Yes.
And it was from a distillery we had great success with. So even though it was 100, I jumped at it and I bought it and we loved it.
I wish he bought 3.
Yeah, I fucking should have.
But
I didn't know.
We didn't know. Yeah. What if you bought 3 and it tasted like that Crypt Keeper stuff?
Right. I don't know.
Hashtag Crypt Keeper.
Hashtag Crypt Keeper. It's
Oaky.
just over oaked, over
If you like
finished.
if you like over finished and over oaked whiskey, get the Crypt Keeper 12-year.
Right. The funny moment. There were a couple funny moments, but it's getting late. I want to wrap this up.
No, it's fine. We're doing great.
We were talking about the scarcity of their limited releases, which then led to a rather dark tangent about Michael Jackson and Eddie Van Halen. It's so flavorful.
Yeah.
It's like a punch in the tongue.
But a good punch.
A good punch in the tongue.
Every sip has just gotten better. I just took my last sip of my second to last sip because I've already had 2 glasses.
I was not expecting much off the nose.
Yeah. It's such a complex whiskey. My hat's off to Cedar Ridge. It's a shame that this isn't like 10,000 bottles every
I know.
You know?
I bet it's sold out by now. I bet it is.
Don't upset Joe. He hasn't tried yet. Maybe there's one out there.
All right, gentlemen, thank you.
Hey, come back with that.
Right. We'll all tie ourselves together by the wrist with one knife.
Beat it. Beat it. Michael Jackson plays in the background. Eddie Van Halen.
That's right.
He did the guitar for that.
Yes, didn't get paid. All right, so...
He didn't get paid?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
There's no mechanism in place for that to happen.
Oh, wow. He just came to the studio, played his thing, and left, and they didn't pay him.
That's a rumor. I'm going with that.
They're both dead. It doesn't matter.
That's right. That's right.
So on that sad note,
I think we'll cut that because it has zero relevancy. Well, except for the beat part. But
it's called a tangent. It's
and it's us tied together seems like a weird way to end it.
Oh, well, yeah, that is kind of weird.
Well, you know, our tongues are all tied up in deliciousness.
And then the last thing that we did in this season, the bonus short, Beyonce's Sir Davis American Whiskey Quick Taste.
What a fun experience that was, because it's nice to be reached out to by Beyonce and her team to focus on this whiskey. While some people would be like starstruck, we're hyper vigilant on celebrity whiskeys because we're always looking for someone who's just going through the motions. But Beyonce and her team, they came up with a very, very delicious flavor profile on that whiskey. It is spectacular.
Yeah.
I'm going to say right now, I think it's the best 88 proof whiskey I've ever had.
I would agree with that.
I think
that's a bold statement, but I agree.
I think it's a fair statement.
Yeah, because the only things that I can remember in that range are like Michter's.
Right.
So that is it. I'm not going to pull out funny moments from that because we just recorded it tonight, so I don't know what funny moments we did. I forget.
Yeah.
So the season 12 preview.
All right.
So we're going to be a little bit more loose with season 12.
Yeah, we got some things coming up that's going to make this a different fall than we've ever had before.
Yeah.
October is going to be sparse.
Yeah, we're going to take the month off because we both need a break.
We need a break. And Scott especially does a lot of editing and grinding. We also need to rest our livers because we're going to Kentucky in November.
Mm-hmm.
It is our intention to bring our equipment to Kentucky and do a series of nightly wrap-up shows on what we do that day.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're going to have 5 or 6 little mini episodes that we can release in November and into December.
We really don't know what we'll do with those.
Right, we don't know. They could be all merged together for 1 or 2 giant episodes. We don't know. It could be like part 1 and part 2. I mean, who knows?
Right. Maybe we're like just tired. We're just documenting what we did, which is enough of a reason to bring it.
Right. And so maybe it won't be our slapstick comedy episodes, but it still might be interesting for you
But
guys.
it might be. We don't know.
We don't know because I guarantee we're going to be buzzed.
Yes.
So,
maybe we'll just drag strangers onto the podcast. Hey, you want to come back to our house?
Yeah, right. That's not creepy at all.
Not creepy at all. But there are some things we can tell you about season 12. Episode 78, which we'll record at the very end of October, which will come out in the first week of November before we go to Kentucky.
Right.
It'll be a bourbon barrel beer episode because it's been way too long since we did one of these. It's been at least 3 years. It's not whiskey, and it'll be a fun way to ease ourselves back into drinking before we go down south. And we'll probably do a short at the same time. So episode 79, which will be after we come back from Kentucky, just what we're saying, maybe we'll use some of the recordings that we do nightly while we're there, but I can't imagine that we won't just feature 5 or 6 on an episode that's just focused on our Kentucky trip.
Yeah, I know that I am setting money aside right now to grab whiskey.
Okay. And then we'll single out a bottle or 2 that maybe are more special for a quick taste.
We don't know what we're going to find. We're in
don't
Kentucky.
know.
Like maybe stuff that's impossible to find here is just laying around down there, and we'll be able to like do a whole Weller episode. Maybe we'll be able to get some Buffalo Trace products that we can't really get.
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be some of that limited release Heaven Hill stuff.
Yeah, because we're going to be visiting a lot of distilleries, so we'll get a lot of distillery-only products.
Right. We won't get back to normal until probably our holiday episodes and stuff.
Yeah, so we're going to do episode 80, which will be a cocktail episode, of course. I have no idea what that'll be. But like you said, we'll do the Christmas bonus episode in December. And of course, in March, which is the end of season 12, the Whiskey Madness tournament.
Right. So we should have a very, very full season anyway. I don't think we'll have as many episodes as we had in this season.
Yeah.
But there's going to be some cutting edge stuff and new. And going on location to Kentucky.
Yes.
You know?
It'll be good, everything
and
we
Jeff's
do.
coming with us, so it's going to be...
Oh, yeah, Jeff's coming with us.
So we do have a third person to kind of put a different slant on things. So we're looking forward to that.
All right.
So thanks so much for everybody who is listening to us. Thank you to the people in China who started listening to us this season and have moved into our top 10 fan group. group. Thank you to Justin and Jason for being such diligent fans who really love what we do, and it really makes us happy that we're making you happy.
And we have others out there too.
Yeah,
who've
sure.
done the same thing.
But I'm just
I know we don't know their names.
Reach out to us. We'd love to hear from our fans.
And you too can get a shout out.
Right. I want to thank Scott for all his hard work and editing that he does.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll be back with the last call in about 6 months.
That's right.
All right. For the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
Be safe, everybody. Cheers.
Later.